Hello there, and welcome back to Mega Man X5. In the last video, we finished off the last Maverick, Spike Rose Red, and got through the first two Sigma stages. In this one, I'm hoping to finish the game. I say I'm hoping, there's not much left. This, though, is interesting, and I actually am going to kill myself. I forgot that this was the next stage, and there's actually something really cool to show here, but I can't show it while I'm wearing the Falcon armor. Okay. Sorry for that bit of unnecessariness. That is a strange word if it's a word. There is no reason to save, but I'm already here, so... Okay. What I'm gonna do is make sure I like X's settings. First shots is kind of stupid. Speedster, Hyper Dash, Buster Plus, Quick Charge. Those are pretty good. And now, for the first time in the entire game, really, we're going in with Naked X. And I'm sure, since very few people probably play as X with no armor, I would imagine most people, even if they find the spot that I'm about to show, don't find the item that I'm about to show. And it's something real cool. I mentioned it indirectly in the previous series in X4. Okay, so here, do that dash jump. You can't air dash, so you have to dash jump through that spot. And what you want to do is come right down here. Like, what? I thought there were only 2 armors in the game. I never expected you to come here without the armor, but it's very dangerous to go without adequate equipment. Finish this battle, I'll give you the ultimate armor. Perform the Giga Attack unlimited times. But don't get lazy and depend too much on the power of the armor. The end is near. Good luck, X. This is the ultimate armor. But it does work like the other armors, where you just get a program. So if you want to actually use it, you gotta kill yourself to get out of the stage. Or finish the stage, but that's boring. Not to mention, there's another reason why you don't want to do that. I would cut, but I'm about to be there. I apologize if this is annoying. Alright, here we go. The EX item is pretty inconvenient for that, actually. Okay, make sure not to save this time. Did the ultimate armor? Yes, we did. And if you want to look at it, it's right here. Oh! I didn't realize that it's listed before Naked X. That's weird. Yeah, here's the ultimate armor. Legitimately obtainable in this game. And only this game for a while. Kind of only this game. You can get it in X8, but not in your first run through the game, basically. It is really good. If I remember correctly, it's just as good as it is in X4. Even a little better, maybe. I'll explain everything about it when we actually play with him, but what I'm actually going to do first is pick Zero. I know this is the first time I've played as Zero in the game. And I'm not going to dwell too much on Zero's attributes, since I'll be playing as him proper. I'll be playing as him proper in the Zero run, obviously. But even in runs where I don't ever play as Zero, or the inverse, where I don't play as X, I still do this with both characters. And normally, it wouldn't matter if you got this with X or... Normally, it wouldn't matter if you pick up the armor capsules with X or Zero, because it would just give you a program for X. But this capsule is a little different. Be careful with that. You head down here with Zero, it's still here. Zero. I wasn't able to create armor for you, but I seem to be able to enhance your abilities. No, I don't need any enhancement, says Zero. I see. Whether you enter this capsule or not, The decision is up to you. But if you enter, Z-Saber will be enhanced and your defense power will be increased. I believe in you. You will use these powers in the right way to fight evil. Decide and choose your fate. Zeros without words. Yes. The capsule will enhance Zero into Black Zero. Unlike X, you get it immediately, and it is a permanent replacement for Zero. You can no longer play as normal Zero. Kind of wild. I'm not going to get into the details of what this form entails, because I'll do that in the series proper. But it does matter. It does change Zero. It's not like the previous game where it was just a visual change. But we'll get to that. Now I'm going to kill myself repeatedly again. But I'm already here at zeros. Here at 0 lives. I realize just saying 0 is confusing when I'm playing as a character named Zero. I'm gonna do that, I'm sure, every time. Like I said, if I just keep playing continuously, and I only have a few more times to try that. Yeah, so he can use the Giga Attack. The sound sounds a little different, or I just didn't notice it. He has the Plasma Shot, just like the 4th armor, and I think it is improved. It's not as downgraded as the 4th armor is got in this game. Yeah, he has the Nova Strike, whereas the 4th armor doesn't. There's a few other changes to him that I will look up right now. Alright, so the Ultimate Armor in this game is actually still downgraded. The Plasma Charge Shot is still not as good as it was in X4. Nova Strike apparently covers more distance, according to the Mega Man knowledge base. And obviously you can cover, like, the 4th armor. And also, unlike X4, but like the 4th armor in this game, your weapon energy still depletes when you use a special weapon. It's reduced by 50%, the same way the Falcon armor does, and the 4th armor in this game. But it's not quite as good as it was in X4. But you can obtain it legitimately, which is pretty cool. Actually, there's a thing that I forgot. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill myself to turn to the stage select so I can show that off. So what I wanted to show that I forgot is that the Ultimate Armor appears as an option here, and it has 2 slots just like the other armors. I wish it had 4, like Naked X does, but I understand. I just wanted to come back and make sure I equipped those 2 before continuing. I'll come right back to where I was. Here we go. Sorry about that little detour. I just wanted to make sure I equipped those before moving on. Oh, that was close. Ooh. The hover is quite good. And basically what I do, after acquiring the Ultimate Armor, I just use it the rest of the way, because it's pretty useful. That looked really weird with the black cutting out there. Now, this boss is strange. Ooh, I like the Wily logo in the background. Zero? I thought you'd be here. What? Zero, I thought you'd be here. Why? Zero, I came here to bring you back. My instincts told me I could find clues somewhere near here. Zero, it's too dangerous. You'll end up being consumed by the virus. Don't tell me you've checked my virus readings. I did. Why weren't you damaged even though you have been infected by the virus? In fact, you've become more powerful with the infection. Why? This isn't the time to fight when we have a mission to accomplish, but I'll bring you back by any means. You say you'll bring me back to the base even if you have to fight me? X, you can't dare to fight me. Your big heart. That is your kindness and your weakness. I'm okay, trust me. Zero, I don't want to lose you. I'm really worried about you, and I do trust you. That's why I have to fight you here. To bring you back. I don't really think this makes much sense. But yeah, you fight Zero as the boss, And you might be able to guess that when you play as Zero, you fight X. I just don't really get what's going on exactly. But anyway, we'll just go for it. Zero is weak to nothing in particular, aside from the Gaia shot and the Nova Strike. I'm gonna go ahead and not use Nova Strike just yet. I'll try to beat him without it. Then if I get to his last hit successfully, then I'll kill him with it. He does a bunch of cool moves, some of which you can do when you're playing as Zero, but some of which you can't do. He shoots those big, like, charge shots. But I don't think you can shoot those with Zero. He's not too hard to beat, though. He's not as hard as I thought he was. What was that? He shot a little shade at me. Ah, I thought I won. I didn't expect you to do that. I never expected you to use Soul Body, which isn't what he did. I think that's a mistranslation. I believe he used the move called Shippu in this game. He doesn't ever use Soul Body. Soul Body is a move that X had in X4, but neither of them have it in this game. Oh, I'm losing consciousness. X. I like the sprite art, these cutscenes here. Ha ha ha. Done very well, X. I will make your end easy. No, I won't allow you to. I know everything you're trying to do. What? You pitiful fool. No, I won't allow you to. Hear this just same line again. You're as persistent as ever, Sigma. Last, I haven't completed you. What? I will retreat for now. Somehow I know you two will come again. I'll be waiting for you. Wait, Sigma! We'll defeat you without fail. It's a weird scene. That's the whole scene! Oh, it's such a game has this very strange story that never plays out the way I expect it to. Getting a stronger energy reading from point 11F5646. Why is the F so much crisper than the numbers are there? The energy is too strong to get an accurate data sample. I must be reading Sigma. I can't think of anyone but Sigma. Sigma's behind all of this. God, you said Sigma so many times in a row. I won't stop you from going to fight anymore. I leave everything in your hands. Yeah, I love Sigma's evil face there. Alright, that time I remembered I can just go left to get to the ultimate armor. And now we are in the stage with the worst background. It doesn't personally bother me, but I'm gonna try to get through this quickly because I'm sure that could bother some people. And if anyone comments that like there's a concern, that they think there's a concern with like epilepsy, I don't know enough to know if this would likely cause that, but if someone mentions that, then I might re-upload this video and try to edit it. I'm not sure how I could, but because it's kind of painful to look at. I could just kind of ignore it, but I can understand if it causes some people some problems. But alright, here we are back at the fifth back. We haven't been here before, but we have been here before. They're the boss fights, obviously. The layout's a little different. God, that background. I'm gonna see how effective the Nova Strike is against them. Pretty good. Pretty good, man. By the way, it is still possible to get the armor with a cheat code, and unlike X4, you don't have to collect an armor part for it to work. If you use the cheat code, you'll just have the ultimate armor as an option. I don't remember, I think it might replace X's default option if you use the cheat code. which is obviously different from collecting it normally. But that way you could start and play the whole game that way. I don't remember if I've done that before. I don't really recommend it because I really like using the Falcon armor. I like the sort of flow of using the 4th armor first, and then the Falcon armor, and then the Gaia armor briefly, and then once you collect the Ultimate armor, using that. I like the armor variety, basically. I think it's cool that a reasonable playthrough will have you using 3 different armors for a substantial amount of time, and then 2 very briefly. That's counting on armor decks, which I guess isn't an armor, but each time you beat one of the Mavericks, there are 2 energy pickups you can get, and I do recommend getting them. Oh, so close to filling my tank, but if I do pretty well on this next fight, I might be able to fill my sub-tanks. Fill my last energy sub-tank. Ooh, the rooms are different sizes. I realize I said we've been here before. These are new chambers, but each one is different to suit the boss. Oh, I remember I love Shining Firefly's sprite. Something about the just intricate little details. I really like it. Thankfully, the hitbox is huge on the Nova Strike, so you're almost guaranteed to hit him, despite all his teleporting nonsense. I'd say almost guaranteed, and I missed him a couple times, but still, it's fairly easy to hit him, much more so than normal. Ow. I forget, he can attack both vertically and horizontally, which is like... There we go. And yeah, it's enough to get a little bit more for my sub-tank. The Nova Strike is pretty solid. I like Black Zero, too. I love that the fact that they're legitimately obtainable. They're secrets, and I wouldn't be surprised if most people don't know about that. Oh, there we go. There's no noise for when you fill the sub-tank in this game. I don't remember if there is in X4. No, there isn't. It just stops making a noise when you pick up energy. Who's this? Bolt Kraken. Or Squid Adler. I don't dislike the Guns N' Reploids names. And by the way, I don't remember where I originally heard Guns N' Reploids as a thing. It's not my joke. I don't take ownership of that. Not that it's like a super unique thing, but it's a cool name to call them. I wish I could remember where I originally heard it. But I do prefer their New English names, more faithful ones. Because I just am generally opposed to unnecessary liberties taken in localization. I respect being as faithful as possible. Though I'm also not going to be annoyed at the person that translated them, because again, she did it apparently to honor her husband who had died. So I'm not mad about that. And since the whole Mega Man series has a music theme, which I don't think I've brought up once. I don't think I've thought to mention that even once in this whole set of Let's Plays so far. The entire Mega Man series has a music theme. In particular, the classic series, but it's pretty consistent all the way through. That's why that's why the Japanese name for Mega Man is Rockman. Classic Mega Man's original name was Rock. That's true in the US too, aside from Mega Man Powered Up, where they call him Mega. He and his sister are Rock and Roll, and his older brother is Blues. So in the US, they never called him Blues. He's only ever called Proto Man. Whereas in Japan, he doesn't have a blank man. He's just Blues. Ooh. Yeah, this fight can get... What am I doing? I can charge. Oh, I forget that I can now charge my sub-weapons, and I recommend using the Charge Crescent Shot here. Fuck! Damn it. If Tidal Whale is always the one I die on. Ugh, I'll do him last. Yeah, so like obviously in Japan this is Rockman X. I'm gonna try a tricky thing here. Now, using the Giga Attack, the Nova Strike, cancels out the Dark Bolt. But so basically with him, with the Ultimate Armor, I just recommend going back and forth with the Nova Strike. And I can understand if someone finds the Nova Strike to be kind of cheating. I don't really think so. Because it's not like that good, especially because the bosses in this game, when you're this late, they're all so high level that their health is huge. So it's not nearly as overpowered as it was in the previous game. And it's not necessarily that overpowered in the previous game. It kind of is. I'm remembering all the boss fights from the bonus video now. And yeah, it's pretty overpowered. By the way, it is possible to destroy his double that he spawns. I don't usually do that when I fight him normally, but it kind of just happens as a result of using the Nova Strike. I feel like the Nova Strike has bigger hitbox too, but I feel like I'm hitting from behind more than I expect to. There we go. Down to just 2 left. Yeah, the audio is still kind of moving weirdly stereo in this game for the explosions. I commented that that sounds a little weird, at least with my headset. Previous game, and it's still true in this game. I haven't noticed it quite as much. This looks real weird with just the dirt. Well, like, it's a part of his attack. Like, his attacks involve the dirt, so it makes sense. Also, yeah, they're all level 96 now, which seems like an excessive number. Given that, like, the first time I fought Crescent Grizzly, he was level 9. Good, you can get multiple hits in when he breaks the wall, just like that. Yeah. Crescent Grizzly is especially easy with a Giga Attack. I almost just perfected him. Nice. I think the only time I got hit is when I used the Giga Attack and got hit after landing next on him. But nice. And just like X4, having the Ultimate Armor just means that in the pause menu, the Giga Attack is always highlighted. It annoys me that my weapon sometimes not quite full, but it's fine. And for Tidal Whale, I'm gonna fight him more intelligently this time. Of course, I say that, and then I scroll all the way the wrong way through the special weapons. Also, I apologize if it's annoying that I constantly say sub-weapon and special weapon back and forth. They're called special weapons Mega Man, but sub-weapon is a term in Castlevania. And like I mentioned in an earlier video, I associate the two to a weird degree. It's the point where I mix up terminology, and during the X4 bonus video at one point, I got confused and said like that Mega Man was made by Konami. It's weird how illogically strongly I associate the two series and companies. Like, yeah, they're both classic platformers back in the day, and Castlevania had a bunch of Metroidvania games, and the Mega Man Zero series is heavily influenced by Metroidvania. There we go. God damn. That was so much smoother. It feels like the Ultimate Armor reduces your damage even more, but I don't think so. I think I just haven't been paying much attention to, like, my health. But you can see why I don't really recommend picking up the shock buffer halves damage, because it just doesn't feel necessary to me. I just think, in general, as long as you're wearing an armor, you're not usually going to worry too much about how much health you have. It depends. There are certainly parts where it matters more. And obviously, if you're having trouble, then it makes sense to equip that. And if you're a newcomer, that's probably a good choice. Probably better than the Hyper Dash. This part, I recommend taking it slowly. I guess this is another sort of celebratory thing, because this is a classic Mega Man mechanic, the appearing blocks. I recommend getting right out here and then just dashing over. You can skip the last couple. And here we are. I believe this is Sigma. If I remember correctly, at least. As you can see here, there's X's pod, presumably the one Dr. Kane found him in, and Zero's pod that we saw in the flashbacks cutscenes in the previous game. Impressive, the #1 Reploid. Technically, X isn't a Reploid, like officially, because the Reploids were built based on X's design. So they're Reploids. That's why it's replicate, because they were replicating X's free will. Because technically, X and Zero aren't Reploids; they're Robot Masters. Although that term doesn't exist, but whatever. They were made by Dr. Light and Dr. Wily. They're not technically Reploids, but in the X series, Reploid is just used to mean sentient robot. So whatever. You came much earlier than I expected. I'm not going to make a joke about that. Why? Why did you do this? Because of Zero, to awaken Zero from his false self. What? I've conducted thorough research and reached a tremendous result. I wanted to find out what Zero truly is, scatter the virus all over the Earth to purify his body. I don't understand how that plan works, but okay. But the amount of the virus was insufficient. So I used the rundown colony and making it a virus colony and let it land on the Earth. You know the outcome, don't you? You almost annihilated the Earth for that? You're sick. Fortunately, there are those handy guys called Maverick Hunters, ever ready and able to come to the rescue. And I knew the Earth would be safe and sound. But alas, most of the hunters have also become Mavericks. That was a close one. Ha 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 ha. God, I do not understand Sigma's plan. How many hunters have been lost because of you? I'll never forgive you for this. You're gonna pay for what you've done. My girlfriend loves Sigma's cape, but only when it's moving. He does not like the way it looks when it's stationary after he stops moving. The Nova Strike is real effective against Sigma, but he is technically weak to the Tri-Thunder. I'm going to use it on him once. God, he does a lot of damage, though. Man. Oh my god. By the way, that form is called Psycho Sigma. Spoiling that there's 2 forms. He always has at least 2 forms, I'm sorry. This form is Gamma Sigma, which I realize might be another reference to classic Mega Man. Hehehe, the #1 hunter you are, X. Okay, Yoda. The stronger you are, the more I want to destroy you. It was pointless to have Zero fight you. After all, you are the #1 hunter, despite traditionally being B rank and Zero is SA. You show no mercy for enemies or comrades. That is very true, actually. X is surprisingly brutal. Shut up, where are you? Ugh. Got a big battle body, like in 3. Here I am, you can challenge me at any time. I have delightful news. I've recently acquired a new partner. He has been very supportive. He seems to have created quite a few robots. He gave me the toughest body that you will ever see. You got here sooner than I expected, so it is not yet complete. But it is enough to destroy you. He is an excellent partner. I believe you two know each other. In fact, he used to be a comrade of yours. He was very persistent about you, and that makes him very helpful to me. CX, there was someone other than me who hates you. Now feel our combined rage and die. But not before suffering horribly. Ha ha ha. Goodbye, X. I believe in the Japanese version, he explicitly mentions that he's talking about Dr. Wily. I think. Which is really weird. He's weak to the spike ball, by the way. Ow! But, oh god damn. I actually recommend using the, you can stand on the arms when they're horizontal, by the way. I recommend using Giga attack, the Nova Strike. Oof. Oh, this is weirdly scary. Okay, I'm gonna go and use the sub-tank. Even though it feels a little early to do that. I'm gonna do it. And because you can kind of just go back and forth. Oh, but he has some attacks that can be pretty damaging. Thankfully, the iframes of the Nova Strike are very useful. Oh, there we go. So I believe he's talking about a character that's in the next game that is implied to be somehow Dr. Wily. Like the consciousness of Sergis, who's presumably Dr. Wily's like robot body, has entered him. It's weird. I'll try to explain more in the next game, but it's strange. Wah! Darn! But I'll never die alone. I'll take Zero down with me. No! Stop using Zero as a shield! Wahahaha! Isn't it painful to have to watch while others suffer? You can put up with your own pain, but can't bear to see others. Especially Zero. Aren't, can you? I'm taking Zero, the one most important to you, to the underworld. To hell, I assume is what he says in Japanese. Goodbye, X. Gahahaha. I don't like that as a laugh, the gahahaha. But he looks kind of like Gamma from Mega Man 3, which I think is the reference, is why he's called Gamma Sigma. And the fists look a lot like Gamma, actually. I don't get like where Zero was this whole time, but okay. I believe you can still play as him even after beating him, so it's weird. Zero? Flash was weird too. Zero! 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 No, don't die! Do you hear me? Zero! Zero! Oh, that's a cool sprite. I like that. He's in the intro. Just look. Drop dead. Oh no! How persistent. Die, Sigma. X. Your optimism led to your own demise. You should. I love this song kicking in. It's a song from X1. No, not yet. Didn't say no, but whatever. That was me. Actually, I want you to rest and relax for now. Hold on, X. Just for a few more moments. 3 years from then. A large maverick has broken out in Hori 146 block. Go into action immediately. Let's go. Now, get a move on. We've been used to living in peace. I'm trying to give him a cool voice because he seems more adult now. Since that time, X's eyes have changed and sharpened. I can face any enemy now. I will feel this way as long as I have this saber. I'll do it today. Zero, with you. Forever, we'll be together. Zero. This was meant to be the end of the Mega Man X series. Zero is meant to die here, at least either permanently or at least until the Zero series. I don't know if that was planned at this point. Yeah, actually, because I think 1 came out just 1 year after this. But yeah, X is now more serious. He's grown. After being mysteriously repaired, seemingly by Dr. Light's hologram? I don't know how that works. That's some magic. But he also has the Z-Saber, which will come into play in the next game. But yeah, that's Mega Man X5. It's got a lot of weirdness and sort of little annoyances, but I still think it's pretty fun overall, especially as Zero. Although I do love it as X too. I do think it's really fun. If you're curious, I guess I can go ahead and say what what ratings I give X1 through X5. I might have mentioned some of those in one of the earlier series, I'm not sure. And they might sound a bit high to some people, but I love these games. And I think to me, positive aspects will always feel greater than negative ones. At least for media. I feel like for me, at least, the negativity bias is reversed for media. And when I think on things, I usually think more fondly than maybe a more neutral observer would if they weighed all the options. But I think X1 and X4 are both 10 out of 10. And that doesn't mean they're absolutely perfect. To me, 10 out of 10 just means that no flaws of the game take away from my enjoyment of it, or for a movie or TV series. I like this is movie in the credits, but there's no FMV cutscenes, no actual like animation. Kind of bummer. It's still cool. I still like the cutscenes. I wonder if they got rid of the FMVs and voice acting specifically because the English version became a joke. I'm not sure. But X2, I would give a 9.5 out of 10. Because I think it's really good. It's almost as good as 1 and 4. My only complaint really is the fact that the X-Hunters are a bit annoying to deal with, ideally. At least doing it the way I do, where I immediately stop and kill them all before moving on. And then, that's basically how I feel about X2. X3, I think, and I've gone up and down on this in the past, but I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. In the past, I've said more like an 8 or an 8.5. But personally, I forgot how much I love it, and I like it a little more even, I think, after doing the Let's Play for it. The annoyances that I had before have mostly just sort of turned into interesting things. Like the mini-boss fights. And part of the thing is I found it annoying to play as long as I have this saber. I found it kind of... I guess I haven't beaten this on PC before, but I found it kind of annoying that I had to do all of the mini-bosses with their weaknesses. And when I realized that I think God Car Machine is easier than the Press Disposer, I was like, okay, I just won't do those. And now I like the game more because of that. I don't have to worry about getting any of the weaknesses except for Vials prior to beating the Mavericks. X4, like I said, I think is 10 out of 10. There's no flaws with that game that take away from the fun for me. This game, I would give an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5, and say that very clearly. I love this game, but all the little weirdness and annoyances do kind of hamper it a bit, but I still think it's really fun. I'll get into my review, my rankings for the other games later, but that's basically how I feel. It's cool that it tells you your playtime and your hunter rank, which I believe it could have gone up to SA if I had killed more enemies and taken less damage, I think? Or maybe it is just speed, I'm not sure, but there you go. Oh, it's a cool screen. But yeah, this series has been fun. I'm excited to move on to Zero. And I will see you guys in the next video. The Zero run. Thanks for watching.